Hi, my name is Cadet Danny DeSanti, Company C1, Class of 2019, Hopeful. Through this presentation, I'll demonstrate the perception of the Corps with cadets that hold the Private First Class rank, which is symbolized by a U.S. symbol. Private First Class cadets wear a U.S. symbol on all their uniforms. Depending on the uniform, it will either be symbolized by a black U.S. symbol or gold U.S. symbol. Here, we have both the black and the gold symbol that will be represented on Private First Class cadets' uniform.
My name is Kevin King. I'm Class 2021, Company C1.
Have you ever seen cadets walking around with the Private First Class rank on, besides myself?
Yes, I've seen other cadets with the PFC rank.
What are your beliefs / what are your thoughts on cadets with the Private First Class rank on?
I think every case is different, but I think as a whole that I sometimes, if it's a bad day, have a quick signal where they're kind of lazier or did something wrong, but usually after talking to them, they're no different.
Do you believe you can trust a cadet with the Private First Class rank on after them going through their punishment?
Yes, I think a lot of times the people that make mistakes and have to push through them end up being well off for it.
Do you believe that they could make good officers even though they've gone through an experience like this?
Yeah, I really don't think there's a correlation. I think there's bad cadets with or without PFC ranks. Yeah. So I think most of them can be good officers.
Thank you for your time. A functionalist states that there are certain structures within society that exist to fulfill some necessary function. Here at West Point, the cadet rank system tells you what privileges you have. For instance, plebes have the least amount of privileges, and a firstie here has the most. A Private First Class cadet falls between a plebe and a yuck privilege system. They do not have many privileges, if any. They are not treated as plebes, but have the same amount of privileges. Socialization is the process by which individuals internalize values, beliefs, and norms of a given society and learn how to function as members within that society.
Hello, my name is Wyatt Gengler. I'm Company C1, Class of 2019. I was a Private First Class for the first semester of my cow year.
Now, with being a Private First Class, did you get any different views from people? Did they treat you a little bit differently?
I definitely felt like people treated me a little bit differently. Essentially, any respect that I had before that seemed to be lost. People would look down on you a little bit. Just generally seemed to lose that belief in your capability.
Have you been able to regain that trust back from your peers or your subordinates after regaining back your appropriate rank?
I believe so, yeah. About the time I got my rank back was around when that respect started coming back. I think good actions throughout the time that you're PFC help, but you're never really going to get it completely back until you actually have your rank back.
Do you believe that after going through this process, cadets are still able to become good officers in the Army, or do you think that going through this, they're going to be viewed as different when they go into the Army?
For me, at least, it helped. I mean, taking a step back, kind of getting your ego kicked down a notch, and essentially going all the way back to just being looked down on, almost like plebe year, was a great thing for my development. I mean, learning that you have to maintain that character throughout to continue that respect, and that it's a very fragile thing that you can lose at any time. For me, that was good lessons to learn, and I feel like I'm better off because of the time I spent as a Private First Class.
Thank you for your time. Symbolic interactionism is interaction based on interpreting and responding to commonly understood symbols. For instance, here at West Point, cadets understand that cadets with a Private First Class rank are people that are in trouble and have done something wrong within the system.
Go ahead. My name is Sergeant First Class Kenneth Petrowski. I'm the TAC NCO for C1. Before here, I was in HHBN for the 82nd at Fort Bragg.
Do you believe that you have the adequate amount of experience with dealing with cadets that have the Private First Class rank?
Yes, I do believe I do.
Prior to cadets obtaining the Private First Class rank, do you believe that your thoughts on that certain cadet changed because of their instance?
I think it's natural if something happened for them to change their rank, they should be viewed differently. However, in what light is the key thing? Is it something, boys will be boys kind of thing? They did something wrong and they learned from it. So there's a way that I look at the individual cadet and how they did that. If it's just the cadet did something wrong, they didn't learn anything from it, and they continue to do something wrong, my judgment of them can change. If they did something wrong and they learned something from it, my judgment can also change.
How do you believe that a certain cadet would be as an officer once leaving here after going through being a private first class?
So I think, again, kind of relating to my last answer, it depends developmentally. If lessons are learned, then I think it gives them more opportunities or better qualities to be a better second lieutenant. So especially with SLDP programs, I think that's a great training opportunity and character development program to have. So now that they've maybe did something wrong, they've learned their lesson, they've moved on, now they're, I feel, a better person for having learned that lesson than those that have not.
Going off of your answers, you do believe that after a cadet has gone through such an experience, you can regain their trust?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you for your time.
Labeling theory is when people become deviant because certain labels are attached to their behavior by other people. Private first class cadets are often labeled as bad cadets or delinquents. After going through this experience, private first class cadets often become better people and better leaders because they have gone through such an experience where they are able to learn from their mistakes and help others not make the same mistake as they have. In society, the minority group is often referred to as the outgroup. At West Point, the outgroup are the private first class ranked cadets. This symbol solidifies that you have done something wrong here at West Point and you are now going through your punishment.
Cadet Mia Melgoza, class of 2020.
Have you had any experience with the private first class rank?
I have not.
Do you believe that cadets that go through the process of being a private first class are still capable of becoming good officers?
Yes, I believe that they are.
Do you believe that there's a certain notion or perspective on these cadets that wear the private first class rank? Do you think people treat them differently?
I think oftentimes when people see their rank, they want to know what happened, and I feel like they're more likely to not trust them while they are wearing that rank. But I think that people that wear, or cadets rather, that wear a first class rank have more experience in terms of what is right and what is wrong here at the academy.
Do you believe they can regain that trust from their peers?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Through this documentary, I found out that cadets and TAC NCOs didn't really judge other cadets with the private first class rank, but rather knew that they got in trouble and knew that they could find their way back once going through their punishment. As a cadet with the private first class rank, we are often looked at very differently within the Corps. Instead of being labeled as delinquents, cadets should come up to us and ask us what happened and learn from our experiences instead of making assumptions and questioning what exactly happened. This is a good learning experience for them, for they can learn from our mistakes so that they don't do the same. Thank you for watching. Go Sociology.